Welcome to Shiloh Reviews. On this episode, we're going to be talking about makeup. Makeup has gotten so complex. There's so many different types of products now. It's hard to know what you actually really need and what's really just for super special occasions. In this video, I'm going to try to help decipher all of that between what products are actually useful for your everyday makeup routine, which products are nice to have for special occasions, and which products most people don't really need. Whether you buy your products from the drugstore, a department store, or a store that specializes in selling makeup, all products are fairly similar. You can find foundations, eyeliners, brow pencils, all sorts of things like that at all three of these establishments. Personally, I prefer shopping at stores that are specific to makeup because you can return the products. The one thing that I absolutely hate about buying things from the drugstore is once you buy a product, you try it, you're stuck with it forever. Whether it works for you or it doesn't, you don't really have any sort of out with that product. Because of that reason, I almost never buy products from the drugstore. Any product that I am gonna buy from the drugstore, it has to be a really low value item. Just in case I don't like it, I can throw it out and not feel guilty about it. So most of the products that I'm gonna talk about today aren't from the drugstore. They are higher end brands that you would have to buy from a department store or a store that specializes in selling makeup. But even though I've bought those products from those places, you can still find very comparable products at the drugstore that do the same things that these products do. So this video is going to be structured on products that are most useful to have to products that are least useful to have. So we'll start with the products that are most useful to have first, and then we'll move on to the products that are nice to have, but products that you don't necessarily need to have if they're not within your budget. The first product is foundations. So I have two foundations here, one that is darker toned, mostly for the summer months, and one that is lighter toned that I use for the winter months. I like to pick full coverage foundations because I can take a little bit of the foundation and mix it in with a moisturizer to make it a lot thinner if I want lighter coverage. When looking for a foundation, you should always look for something that's within your price point. If you do have a very specific budget for your makeup, I would say foundation is the one item that would be super advisable to buy from a department store or a store that specializes in selling makeup, for the reason that the person that's helping you find the foundation can test a number of different shades on you, as well as a number of different brands to find one that's most suited to your skin type. You can buy a foundation from the drugstore. The only thing about buying them from the drugstore is that if you do have the wrong color, you usually can't return it and then you're stuck with it. And if you have the wrong color foundation, it's gonna be really difficult for you to use it. You're gonna need to have other foundations that maybe you can blend into it to kind of make the right skin tone for yourself. The next useful products I've lumped together, and I would say they are mascara and eyeliner. So these products you can absolutely buy from the drugstore. If you are to pick anything from the drugstore, I would say eyeliner and mascara are the ideal items. If you do have sensitive eyes that get a little bit irritated with eyeliner and mascara, I would definitely recommend looking for products that are hypoallergenic and also avoiding products that are waterproof if you have sensitive eyes. The next product that's super useful to have is lipstick, and lipstick is one that you can buy from the drugstore as well. So with lipstick, it's really great to have one kind of everyday lipstick for fall and winter months, and then one everyday lipstick that's a little bit lighter, a little bit brighter, and great for the spring and summer. In addition, it's great to have a couple of special occasion lipsticks, so maybe a bright red for holiday events or any special events you might be going to, as well as one dark lipstick. Some people also really love lip gloss. I used to be very into lip gloss in high school, but I would say now lip gloss, I only have one. It's this one right here. And sometimes I'll just throw it on top of my lipsticks to give them a little bit more gloss and sheen. I don't really think this one's necessary to have, but if you are a lip gloss person, this is a great alternative for lipstick if you wanted to swap them out, or something nice to add if it's within your budget. The next item that's really useful to have is blush. Blush really just brightens up the face, and it's something you can buy from the department store, the drugstore, or a makeup specialty store. It doesn't really make that much of a difference. Some people like to have two, one that's matte and one that has a little bit more of a sheen. It's great to have two if it's within your budget. And the next item that I would say is essential to have as a part of an everyday makeup routine would be an eyebrow pencil. So this is something I didn't use before, and man, have I been missing out. An eyebrow pencil is so useful. It just really makes your face look put together and your face pop a little bit more. I think it's a great product to have, especially if it's within your budget. If it's not, you could always pass on it. Even if you have really perfect brows, it's always nice to add a little bit more color to them. The last must-have product is an eyeshadow palette. Ideally a palette that has some neutral colors as well as some bold colors and some sparkly colors for special occasions. The reason why I like picking a palette like this is because it's very versatile and you don't really need more than one, because this one palette has everything that you could possibly need. For an eyeshadow palette, similar to for foundation, I think an eyeshadow palette is definitely the product that you should pick up from a department store or a makeup specialty store, especially if you have darker skin. The pigments usually in drugstore eyeshadows is usually not very good. It usually looks casty on darker skin and is not really made for our types of skin tones. So I do find splurging on a good quality eyeshadow palette will last you forever. And even though most of the time these are in the price range of $35 to $65, I think it's money well spent for sure. So to summarize where we're at, the two products that I highly recommend buying from a department store or a makeup specialty store are foundation, just so you can get that perfect match for your skin tone. And the second item that I highly recommend purchasing from a department store or makeup specialty store is an eyeshadow palette. And everything else, so lipstick, lip gloss, eyeliner, mascara, blush, all of those things you can buy from the drugstore. Now we're on to the products that are nice to have, but you don't really need. The first thing that I'll start off with is extra foundations. So this right here is a tinted moisturizer. It's not really necessary for anything. You can turn any foundation really into a tinted moisturizer. This is an additional foundation that I have that's kind of an in-between my fall and winter colors. And again, you don't really need that specialty kind of in-between foundation. You can really modify anything that you have existing to kind of fit within the seasons for you. The next item that is really nice to have but you don't really need is an eyebrow gel. It's always great to have one of these to keep your eyebrows in place, but if you get your eyebrows done regularly and if you are using an eyebrow pencil as well, it's just kind of an extra product that's nice to have but you don't really need it. Another product that's super nice to have that you don't really need is bronzer. So bronzer provides a bit of a sheen to your entire face, and people use it because they want to look more tan. If you already have a tan complexion, it's a pretty useless product, and I've had this product for years and I don't think I've really ever used it. So the next products are a makeup setting spray and a primer. A primer is really great if you have acne prone skin, if you have a lot of blemishes, if your skin's not all completely smooth. In those cases, or if you have a lot of fine lines or wrinkles, a primer is really great because it will go on your skin and it will essentially fill in all of those bumps to make your skin look smooth. It's also great for people who have oily skin because it will make your skin a little bit more of a surface that's not greasy and things won't move around on it. The next item is this Mist and Fix spray. So it's kind of nice to have, especially if you're putting on a very heavy face of foundation. For most people, for everyday use, it's not really necessary. The next item is lip liner. So lip liner was really big a long time ago because lipsticks were really poor quality then, but now lipsticks are really great. They stay on your lips, they don't really bleed even if you have really high pigment in them. So it's nice to have, but you don't really need it. The next item is concealer. So concealer has become so popular because people are looking for that super contoured kind of look. And if you are interested in that type of look, then a concealer is really great to have to give you those dimensions on your face, as well as a contour. So contour, and highlight are really great to have if you want your face to have dimension, if you're going to be putting on really heavy makeup for special occasions or anything like that. It is good to have. It's not really necessary for every day, and it can add up. The last two items I have here are setting powder and an inner eye eyeliner. So this would kind of just go on like the rims of your eyes to help your eyes pop a little bit. It's also a nice to have for special occasions if you're going to do any sort of fancy photo shoot or anything like that. And a setting powder is very similar. If you're wearing very heavy makeup, it is nice to set the finished look. In addition, if you have oily skin, then a setting powder is really great also. Lastly, do you need to have a ton of eyeshadow palettes? And I would say not really. You know, if you have one eyeshadow palette that has the shimmers, the bold colors, as well as the neutral everyday colors, then you don't really need a bunch of other eyeshadows, different blushes, different highlights, all that kind of stuff. Those things are really just extra, and if you really like makeup, then it's nice to have those things. But if you're just looking to set up a small makeup collection for your everyday use, then adding those things can sometimes be a waste of money. So in summary, the products that you don't really need but are nice to have are things like bronzer, eyebrow gel, contour, highlight, setting powder, primer, inner eye eyeliner, and lip liner. So those are all products that are really nice to have, but you don't really need them. But if you are a makeup enthusiast, it's great to have those products to expand upon the looks that you have within your repertoire of makeup. I hope you found this video useful. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. I'd also love to connect with you, so feel free to follow me at Shyla Reviews on Instagram and let me know what you think. You can leave a comment below or you can shoot me a note at Shyla Reviews. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next week.